Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you, Moon. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Dr. Wang Huiyao, and also thanks, CCGs for having me. I'm also very glad to meet my old friends, Mr. Ambassador, yes, Professor Konapali, yes. I would like to take this opportunity to share my views on the current China-India relations. When we talk about the China-India relations now, yes, I think the global conflict in 2020 is very important watershed and hard to avoid. Before the outbreak of the conflict, I think the development trend of the China and the India relations are very positive and upward. We can see, the two informal summits are very groundbreaking, and both in the worldwide and also at the level of the bilateral relations. However, the conflict was very unfortunate and causing heavy casualties on both sides. This has not only aggravated the complicated the situations in both areas, but also caused a very serious damage to the political mutual trust and also the public opinion basis between the China and India. And that ruined our years of efforts, including ambassadors and Mr. Ambassador's achievements. But I strongly believe that if the conflict did not happen, I think the China-India relations would never have been like this today. Looking back in the past 2 years, the China-India relations, I think, is worst time more than 3 decades. First, the lack of a strategic mutual trust. Second, the lack of the forward momentum. And the third is a lack of top level interactions. Take high level interactions, for example, I think after the Prime Minister Modi's inaugurations, nearly 80 years ago, he has officially visited China 5 times and held 16 times meeting with President Xi. But in the past 2 years, the two leaders have they talked all around the world with different countries' leaders, with a phone calls or with a video meeting, but they never met face to face, which I think is very real in the history of China-India relations. And former Minister Jeffrey Shankar believes that India-China relations should abide by the 3 mutuality, that is the mutual respect, the mutual sensitivity, and the mutual interest. And also the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi also put forward the proposals and the principles for developing the bilateral relations. That is to view our bilateral relations from a long-term perspective, and to view our relations, our mutual development from win-win views, and also to participate in the multilateral process with a cooperative attitudes. I was very much agree with the 2 ministers' thinking. All the principles fully demonstrate that both China and India are full of wisdom and civilized powers. And some countries do not understand why both China and India has a very strong armies, but used the primitive weapons in the conflict. The truth, I think, the reason is very simple. Neither countries want see a real war happens. But frankly speaking, I think over the past 2 years, the conflict in the bilateral relations has masked the consistency between the 2 countries in the international cooperations. Since this year, I think the sharp changes in the international situations have objectively brought opportunities for the improvement of bilateral relations. Now, there are not some positive signs, such as I think the border remains stable and the diplomatic interactions and economical trade exchanges increases. However, we are not optimistic. We need to work together to passionately stabilize China and India relations step by step, and then continue to think how to develop our bilateral relations. Frankly speaking, the GSI, yes, and the GDI, I think, are not the current imminent need. We have so many interests, yes, common interests. Take the economic cooperations as an example. And this has been proved by a large numbers of facts, yes. Last year, China, India has trade bucketed the trend, reaching the historical higher, yes, up to nearly 43%, yes, increases, and exceeding this across the 1,000 billion yuan for the first time. And this shows our bilateral economic trade cooperations meet the actual needs of the two countries. If it's not of our two countries, we have a higher, yes, complementarities between us. How can we explain the great achievements of the China bilateral relations and the China-India economic and trade cooperations over the past 2 decades, several decades, yes. I think the stability of the China and India relations will directly affect the developments and the stability of the two countries. For China's side, yes, India's existence cannot be ignored, whether it is a domestic economic development and maintaining our neighborhood security and stability, or the strategical games between the China and the US. But for India, it is wise to maintain a stability, yes, with China, yes, in both areas, and can conduct, yes, the mutually benefit cooperations with China. I think the present, the COVID-19 has not stopped it, and the conflict between the Russia and the Ukraine continues, and the prospects of the global economic recovery are still uncertain. Only by seizing these opportunities, seeking the common ground, and enhancing the mutual trust, we can create a favorable, yes, external environment for our development. The two sides should rebuild, yes, agreed, rebuild consensus and strengthen cooperations to jointly cooperate the global economical, such as global economic recessions, yes, to get the China-India relations back on track. The two sides, as I suggest, can do, but yes, not limited, such as strengthen the cooperations between local provinces and states, and promote the cultural exchanges, and strengthen the exchanges between the think tank and scholars, and enhance the public awareness, yes, of each other, and strengthen the political cooperations, such as in the field of the global climate change. During the past 2,000 years of bilateral exchanges, peace and friendship has been the norm. Yes. Now, I remember the Chinese leaders repeatedly said China and India, yes, enjoy 99% of the friendship. Yes, but the conflict between the two countries is very short, less than 1%. So even the conflict, such as the 1962 border conflict, has turned the swords into plowshares. We scholars, thinkers, should not only focus on differences, but ignore the cooperation. I think we have opportunity, yes, to find, yes, solutions to mutual satisfaction and serve the common interests and resolve the differences. Meanwhile, both governments need to handle the bilateral relations with a larger mind as emerging big powers, while we need to carefully deal with the domestic nationalism voices to avoid their policy became left. However, I think the size of big countries lies not only in its ambition, but also in its broader mind and pattern. Thank you.